I've been working on the relationship with Criticaleye now for about 10 years, and for me the really unique thing about it is the peer-to-peer relationships. We appear as an equal, we're not here as a management consultancy, and there is an equality to the opinions that are given and shared, and an openness from the other members that we don't find in any other organisation.
We think that by partnering with Criticaleye, we get an opportunity to source and work with and collaborate with the most senior leaders in business across not just the UK but globally, and to be able to really work with them in a trusted environment. Criticaleye has invested a lot of time over the years in building up a network of close collaborators and has deep respect from the individuals that engage with them. And we like to think that that fits well with what we're trying to aspire to with Accenture and what we bring to our clients. So it's a very useful match.
So the Criticaleye community are a great bunch of people to work with. They move around the companies that we might want to work with. So we may know in one company, they move to another, helps us. It's a new piece of origination for us. But equally, I think you begin to get more from people the longer you know them, so we can get the feedback that we need in order to develop our proposition. There's a real alignment of the target audience for us. So the strategy we have in the UK is one about value, not volume, about working with the right companies, and we find that working with Criticaleye, we're talking about the same people.
The value that we get from EY is being involved in sort of fantastic conversations, just like the conversation we had earlier, is really important for us, that we understand what non-execs are thinking about really important business issues. They're a critical stakeholder for us as a business. I think getting to know a lot of different people, that's been really important, and I can feel that everyone's having fun. So last but not least, there's a great bit of fun to have when you're joining these events.
The reason that we partner with Criticaleye in something like the HRD retreat is that it's an opportunity for us to learn. It's an opportunity for us to listen and hear what's happening within the HR discipline and within the HR arena. So we begin to understand what are the problems, what might be some of the solutions as a consequence of that. And it just allows us to have some very high quality conversations with some very knowledgeable individuals. And most importantly, in a non-threatening sort of relaxed atmosphere, which is quite difficult to achieve in many other ways.
Taking 2 days out in any senior business person's diary these days is almost impossible. The fact that they come away, they do literally retreat, and then are extremely open with their failures, their experiences, the challenges they're facing, that's all brilliant. You get a real seniority of exposure here, and they're all very, very open to some very frank conversations. And then there's the bits that happen in between, and they're almost more valuable. The one-to-one meetings, the coffees, the drinks, the dinner, the after-dinner drinks, and the relationships that are built up there, and the learning that occurs in those spaces in between is probably the most valuable thing we find.
The value for us as a sponsor of this event is an opportunity to engage with CFOs, listen to them first of all about their challenges and how they're trying to tackle them, which helps us tune our engagement with CFOs. It's great to build a network with CFOs in an environment that's all about peer-to-peer exchange rather than something that, you know, in many conferences and so on feels like, you know, much more pressurized type of environment. And for us, it's all about building long-term relationships with executives and them seeing us as a trusted advisor.
There are many business networks out there, but it's very hard to always get the right caliber of individual to attend the events. And very often you end up in a situation where you have a number of CEOs, CFOs, but also a lot of middle management folk, and actually the conversation is really hard to cultivate. But somehow Criticaleye managed to get those at the very top of an organisation. I think we walk away from these events knowing that relationships have been made and collaboration happens thereafter. And that can really only take place when you have the right decision makers brought together into one room.